U.S. home foreclosure filings, we learned, rose last month, but at the slowest pace in 4 years. Online marketplace RealtyTrac reports that foreclosures dropped 2% in February, and while the number filed was up 6% from last year, it was still the slowest increase since 2006. Joining us now to talk about where we go from here on this theme, Rick Sharga, Senior Vice President at RealtyTrac. Great to have you, Mr. Sharga. So the news here, the slowest pace of increases in U.S. foreclosures in 4 years. Is this finally, can we look at this as at least a bit of good news, encouraging news?
It's a little bit of good news, but you have to take the numbers in context. It's also 12 consecutive months where over 300,000 U.S. households got a foreclosure notice, and it's 50 consecutive months where the year-over-year numbers are higher. But this is a little bit slower growth. We'd be more optimistic if there weren't some external factors that we think are sort of artificially keeping the numbers lower than they might be.
Okay, you're also seeing evidence now the government programs are keeping more people in homes. However, does more need to be done? Are we just delaying the inevitable with these remodification programs?
I think that's a key point. It's not so much that the government programs are actually preventing foreclosures. They're delaying the onset of new foreclosures while the lenders are reviewing delinquent loans. Inevitably, a lot of those loans wind up in foreclosure anyway. The government programs are right now delaying the onset of foreclosures, but inevitably a lot of these loans are going to wind up in foreclosure anyway. The other issue that really affected February numbers was the record snowfalls that hit a lot of the northeastern part of the country. We saw the mid-Atlantic region, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, and Delaware, numbers dropped by 20 to 40%, primarily because the courthouses and county clerk's offices were closed. So we could see a rebound in March. But we are anticipating that by the end of the year, this year will have the slowest rate of growth in foreclosures we've seen in the last 3 or 4 years.
Rick, might I ask, too, because it seems that there's at least a little bit of a disconnect here, because as you mentioned to Lori, maybe a bit of good news, but on the flip side of that, we're seeing a lot of homes on the market now, but they're coming from foreclosures as opposed to building new homes.
And that's going to be continuing for the foreseeable future. Keep in mind, there are probably 500,000 bank properties that have been repossessed but aren't on the market yet. There's another 1 million properties that are in foreclosure, and there's 5 million homeowners who are delinquent on their loans. So we're not really expecting to see a big boom in the housing market in terms of new home development, at least for the next couple of years.
Yeah, Bloomberg's been reporting in recent weeks that there has been increased demand for these foreclosed properties. A lot of buyers, in fact, paying outright cash for them. So, you know, is that a good sign to you in predicting foreclosures from here?
There's a market for these homes. Most of the homes that are being sold out of foreclosure are at the low end of the market. Many of them are going to investors who are paying with cash. The balance are largely going to first-time homeowners who have availability of FHA financing. The weakness in the market right now is in the move-up market and at the higher ends of the market, because there really isn't much lending going on in those categories, and there's almost no competitively priced jumbo loans going out right now.
Getting back to government plans and loan remodifications, do you think that we need to see the actual principle of these distressed mortgages remodified?
Yeah, I think until we have a program that really addresses the principal balance issue, we're not going to have anything terribly successful. I think the fact that the administration is now pushing short sales is pretty much a tacit admission that the current loan modification program simply won't work on a lot of these problem loans.
Right.
And the white elephant in the room is that there are hundreds of billions of dollars of loss of value in these homes that somebody's going to have to take the hit on.
All right, Rick Sharga of RealtyTrac, thank you for your time.